Alright, if you guys are new to the channel, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification icon so you know I'm uploading and streaming. We are going to be playing, what's it called? Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. If you guys want to see this on the stream tonight, like I said, Monday through Friday, I stream on Twitch from either 5:45 p.m.-ish to 6 p.m.-ish. So around there is when I will start my stream and be like a 3-hour stream. So if you guys want to hop on that tonight, I will be on there. The link to my Twitch is in the description. And stop on by, we can chat a little bit. I got the chat window up over here, so yeah. And I also record it just in case, for some reason I lose internet connection or stream just gets cut off for some reason. It's also recorded, it's saved on YouTube, but it's scheduled the next day. So like tonight's recording will be Saturday. Alright, let's do this. I tested it last night. It started, ran, no issues. Didn't test it with OBS Studios running, so we see. Oh, this and Railway Empire is free on Epic Games right now. So if you guys want it, and you're a PC player, go to Epic and download it. As far as I know, Epic is on PC. I don't think they have a launcher or anything for console. You're gonna load. There we go. Is this thing gonna load? I'm gonna go back downstairs and have some lunch now, and hopefully I'll see you sometime. There we go. No, I always test and see how they handle it. Load or not. Well, I figure if I'm going to live stream, that's the only way I can do it. It's after I have supper. There's a chance of me going out for a snack or slim, because it's rare that there's any snack that I want, so I'm just going to pause. Well, our washer is components, but this one is the most powerful cleaning in the industry, driven by a heavy recycled extra power. Shop looks and save on the Maytag water repair and get free delivery. This is. I know that you're enjoying your always new, never bitter Cameron's coffee in the comfort of your own home. I'm trying to. More bitter coffee covered up with sugar. All right, we try this again. That is smooth like butterfly kisses. It worked just fine last night. No way.
Night has fallen and you're weary from travel. Stars fill the sky above, and in front of you is a brightly lit wooden house, the only building you've seen for days.
Alright, I'm going to pause, be right back. Alright, YouTube. If there's any music playing in the background, I can't hear because I have my headphones on. But there is, that's my friend's TV, nothing I'm doing.
You walk toward the house, hearing the sounds of laughter and talk as you reach the door and push it open. You sit down and join the game. It's a cheap buy-in, and not many of the other players are very good.
Like I said before, if you guys want to see this on stream tonight, let me know down in the comments.
The lady fiddling with dice gets good cards, but has no real strategy. The man to your right seems to just hold on to the highest cards he has, regardless of suit or any consideration of matches. The man in gray across from you, though, he's good. He already had the largest pile of coins when you bought in, and while your winnings grow quickly, you can't quite catch him. One by one, the other players leave the table, sometimes with pique or with wry humor, leaving their winnings with you or the man in gray.
All right.
Finally, it's just you and the man in gray. He looks at you, full of humor, and winks. Last hand? He deals, you draw, and look at your hand. It's good. It's great. The best hand, in fact. A royal straight flush. Spades. Aces high. But the man in gray pushes forward his whole pile. You're not sure exactly how much it is, but it's more than you've got. You can't match that. The man in gray stops you. Now, if you like, I'll let you wager your word. I know you'll be good for it. Just promise you'll pay the debt, however I ask. Yep. 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. All spades. The man in gray smiles. All right, then. I'll call.
What? It's the big bad wolf man.
Well, your luck wasn't so good, was it? That's quite the hand, but not for the game we're playing. I'm afraid you owe me. Your life, sure, but more than that. Your labor. You see, this land is built on stories. It's one big story, this country, woven of many small ones. Few of the small ones are strictly true, and the big story is mostly a lie. All the stories and songs and myths and legends start somewhere, with a seed. As they're told and retold and passed around, they grow and change to become the stories we know. To pay your debt to me, you'll be carrying stories, finding the seeds first and then spreading them, telling them onwards so they can begin gaining strength. This is no light task. Stories are heavy. Most of the stories you'll find will be small seeds. They might be true, but they grow wild and unbelievable with the telling. The more important stories are the true ones, the ones people will tell you about their own lives. Those often get lost in the weaves of the big story.
So far I'm liking this.
The more true stories you can find and tell, the more you can weave that truth into the big story. Tarnish it a bit perhaps, but isn't a dingy and battered truth better than a shining lie? Now, go ahead. You tell me a story. I'll trade you some information about your task.
tries to change everything. Through your steps, travel, choices, morality, that desires for your wishes are true. Cultures. Tell the story of Purdy, a brief glimpse of the land of promise. Tell the story.
Your deepest desires, your greatest wish, heaven, Big Rock Candy Mountain, El Dorado, the promised land, that place just over the ridge where they all say that the water tastes just like the sweetest wine.
Yep.
Well, I don't know where that is. It's supposed to be somewhere in this country. Ask the people you meet. They're all searching for the same thing. Travel? That's your job. Wander from place to place, gather those stories and spread them. People get bored hearing the same stories over and over, but an old cliché in one state might be a rip-roaring new yarn in another.
Tell the story of the endless series of doors of different kinds, each leading only to more doors.
You sometimes have to make choices about what kind of story you're finding. Is it a love story or a tragedy? Don't gather too many of one kind, though. This grand story needs variety.
Tell the story of tossing a pair of bone dice and a blood-red velvet table. Come up snake eyes and you get
It's just luck. Funny how bad luck seems to follow the folks who already have problems aplenty. Well, try your luck out there in this country. See how the dice treat you. It's not all bad. You'll have to work hard, but I'll give you the gift for seeing the true shapes of people. Not many who can do that.
and last but not least, Tower. Tell the story of Black and Gray City where every building is filled with desiccated corpses.
I'll strip away your flesh to make the journey easier, but still you'll feel pain. Hunger, weariness, thirst, and despair. They're all part of stories, the part not often told. And death, yes, but don't worry. As long as your task remains, you come back. Go on your way, Seeker. Maybe we'll meet again, or maybe not. Either way, it'll be an experience for you. I'm jealous in some ways. I hope you find what you're looking for.
This bungalow is being ransacked. There's furniture piled in the front yard, ammunition heaped under the mailbox, and a crowd of clean-cut men ripping apart a car in the driveway. The two heavily armed, mud-caked women leaning over the porch railing share the same bored grin. One shouts at you. Lend a couple innocent gals a cigarette?
I even have cigarettes?
You are about to hand her a smoke when those men draw pistols and shove you hard into the dirt. You know these girls? They demand. Once they've dumped your bag out into the road, they decide you're harmless. If you were selling booze too, you'd have a lot more cash, sneers one. On the porch behind him, the two bootleggers are fingering their empty rifles, grinning in disappointment.
I'm cold and empty. They're the ones who'll bury me.
Oh, this would be perfect.
Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters.
Here goes to fill your obligation to the wolf by finding all 16 characters scattered over the U.S. and trade stories with them, and you earn their trust and finish their story. Alright. By having adventures, you begin to collect stories. When you meet characters, they ask you for different types of stories: tragic, hopeful, scary, thrilling, or funny. Remember what sort of adventures you had and what type of stories you got. But slow. You can speed up your walking pace by whistling. Hold down the button and mash notes to keep your spirits and speed up. I guess this would probably be easier if I used the controller. We center camera, hitchhike, whistle, inventory, camera.
Off the road and into the woods, you can't help but come across this package by the old tree tied to a sturdy stick. The cloth wrapping conceals, though not particularly well, something large and softly unsettled. Little eyes blink back at you from inside the bundle.
Say hello.
The shape gives a start. Please don't tell my pa that I'm in here, it says in a small voice. Pa doesn't want to live with us anymore. But I want to go with him. Don't tell him, please. I'm hiding. You tell the boy you'll keep his secret. You don't see his father anywhere. You don't see another soul for miles.
Ooh. Alright, I am going to pause. And I'm going to go get me some more coffee. Alright, I'm back. I got me another cup of coffee.
They don't come every year, you know. The old man is sitting at the edge of a rotting old pier, crooked legs dangling over the water. He watches a pair of seagulls preen and groom each other on a rock just off the shore.
Ask what?
Just when the fishing is going to be good. He taps great, black, thick globs of spent tobacco out of a huge ceramic pipe. I got another year, I guess. Another year of this town being here, he replies, letting a grin spread across his face. If the seagulls came, that means enough fish to keep it in place.
Seagulls and
Well, I'm gonna heft my spade up upon my weary back. I'm gonna keep that stride stuck in my soul. 'Cause when my clothes burn low and my trains run out,
I'm using the D-pad to do this, by the way. If you want to figure that out. Oh, we can go over here.
well, I got no companion except the wind and the sea. And when
Oh, can't go that way.
I'm gone empty, they're the ones who'll bury me.
The edge of summer has turned the ocean choppy and misanthropic, and the skies miserably gray. The boardwalk prophetess lured you into her tent with a promise to read a fortune for free. Seems like business has slowed to a crawl already. Before you lie the instruments of her profession. There's tarot cards, Rider-Waite, but also Marseille for traditionalists, rosary beads and costume jewelry, and of course, the centerpiece, a great glass globe. With practiced theatricality, she goes directly for the crystal ball, letting her eyes unfocus as though she can see a great distance into it. She brings up names, places, asks if you've known someone called John, if you have a relative in Newark. You'll latch on to what she says, and together you dance towards some insights about your romantic prospects. It's relieving to meet an honest charlatan instead of the ghouls and ghasts of the road. You might even say you're having fun, until she abruptly stops talking. "Your eyes," she says, her voice suddenly drained of the bassy drama that was her stock in trade. "You've met him. You've seen him, too. You carry him with you."
Yes, did you miss me?
The words that come out of your mouth are not your own. They seem unwilling or unable to form properly out of a human throat. They're more like snarls, warning noises of a vicious animal. The glass globe shatters. Your vision is hazy, and your body is not your own. "You came far to get away from me," the voice lodged inside you says. "But this one has a way of wandering." The fortune teller has collapsed, cowering. "Consider your debt to me repaid." When you come to your senses, you're lying face down on the rough wood of the boardwalk, sore and weak. An empty patch of wood, cleaner than the surrounding planks, is all that remains of the fortune teller's tent.
Whoa. Creepy, but alright. Okay, we can go that way. We're gonna keep going this way. Oh, this is Couplet Claims. Going back to Portland. What's this say? Maine, New Hampshire.
The woman walks the small town square with the poise of Betty Davis, the confident stride and inimitable mannerisms elevating the sidewalk into a plush Hollywood carpet, and wrapped around her neck, a yellow velvet ribbon, bright as an ocean sunrise. You question a well-dressed man parked outside an oyster house. "Prudish woman. I took her on a fine date and she didn't remove so much as a ribbon. Excuse me, can you step back from the coupe? That's the spirit." You decide to seek a second opinion. You talk with a waitress smoking outside a diner.
Something funny about her. Just showed up one day. Doesn't work, doesn't live anywhere as far as I know. Just around. Myself, I'd love to know who made all her beautiful clothes.
You ask the woman if you may join her at a public bench.
You may. Lovely outside, isn't it?
Her eyes are a beautiful shade of brown. Beneath the yellow ribbon, a thick, fibrous scar wraps around her throat.
Weather like this, it reminds me of Paris.
Oh. Pair of bone dice loaded to roll snake eyes nearly every time.
This is my 16-inch spoon. So, makes it sound a little crazy. This right here is a swear box. So if you say bad words, you gotta put $20 there.
So get ready to get down with the biggest ballers in town with a fresh new bevy of empty cribs.
Well, that doesn't do much for me now, does it?
You can see storm clouds on the horizon, and you don't relish the thought of being caught wandering this rocky seaside road in the rain. Fortunately, you find the lighthouse door open, with a daunting staircase before you.
Alright, climb up.
At the top of an ornate wrought iron spiral, you're breathless and feeling the strain on your knees. Rain already batters the walls outside. You can only knock on a heavy wooden door leading into the upper level. Muffled voices and light seep in beneath the door. Looks like we got a visitor. Sounds like a man's voice, deep and rough.
Well, behave yourself. I'll open the door.
Another man, this one with a higher, more sonorous voice. I always behave myself. He feigns indignation, but his tone betrays affection instead. After a moment, the door unlatches from the inside and opens. The man before you is tall and muscular, with a hint of a paunch beneath his wide chest. The heavy iron knob on the door looks nearly dainty in his huge hand.
Didn't want to be out in this rain, did you? Come in.
Okay, no one's gonna ask about the dude that's obviously a skeleton. Are you fucking kidding me? But alright.
Despite the rough exterior, this room looks like a well-appointed parlor. There's a rug on the well-trod wooden floor and an enormously plush couch. And sat upon it is a stocky fellow grinning through a great hazel-colored beard. Tea? He offers, hoisting a teapot.
A few years.
The tall one sits on the sofa, wrapping his arm casually around the other lighthouse keeper. 5, says the smaller, but by no means small, man.
That long? Time flies. We traveled together before that. You must have some good stories from the road, huh?
Oh, I have some.
You wake up the next morning on their old sofa, still warm from an excess of tea. And cakes? There might have been little cakes. Prodigious snoring rumbles in from the floor above you, and you quietly take your leave.
Alright, before we continue on, we're gonna head back this way, see what's on that route back that way. And we'll head on to Route 95. Oh, I'm loving this music. Vermont. Alright. And to Burlington.
You hear the whippoorwill first, shrill and close. Then you see him, high up above the black streaks of wires. A lineman, fraying belt holding him to the pole. The damned bird has come to perch on a power line, stare hungrily at the man's soul. He's unsteady. His hands are shaky, and his body sways in the wind. You spot his tool bag next to the pole, worn and frayed, much like the man. A half-gone bottle of cheap rye pokes out of it.
Taking your booze, old man.
What's he gonna do? Come down from the pole? You snatch it from his bag in one quick motion and walk away. Hey! He starts, but whatever he's about to say slips into a slurred whine as his belt snaps. His body plummets, and his limbs go slack with the understanding of what is happening to him. He tumbles into the tall, dry grass by the side of the road with a muffled noise. All you hear is the call of the whippoorwill. Eager, loud, thankful.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't have taken this drink. Hey, there's a house in the back there. But I don't think it has a store. Oh, yes, it does. This preacher ushers you into a church through an alley door. Behind the shelves in this warm little janitorial closet, he shows you a cot with a thick blanket and a soft pillow. You fall asleep to the sound of singing voices echoing through the wall and wake refresh. Oh, that's not even a story, that's like a rest spot. Oh, we can hitchhike? Well, I don't see no beagles here. Well, let's get back to Portland, get Route 95, and see if we can hitch a ride. That's pretty cool.
A dusty truck and a man on horseback pull up next to one another in front of the grocer. Suddenly, the driver and the rider, two wiry old men with identical haircuts, start shrieking at one another.
What's going on?
The man with the truck leaps into the street. "Brother!" he shouts. The one on the horse tumbles out of his saddle. "Brother!" he screams. They embrace in the road. 30 years, hollers the driver. The rider, tears streaming down over his face, corrects him. "No, 32!
Oh, wow.
Everyone here is watching these two older men cry and hug one another in the middle of Main Street. Cars and wagons are backing up. People are yelling. "Take a photo of us," the driver begs you. Starts hauling a tripod out of the bed of his truck.
Let's get out the road first, if you're gonna say so.
As you usher them onto the sidewalk, the driver says, "Joe, I thought you were dead." The rider freezes. "Joe?" he blurts. "I'm not Joe." The two men stare at one another, each slowly recognizing something alien in their mistaken brother's face.
Well, I'm glad I didn't take a picture, because that would have been some weird shit.
Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by I'll see them far and long. 'Cause when the night come down for to take me hand in hand,
Let's check and see what's over here.
be my tale, my vagrant song. This will be my tale, my vagrant song.
Alright, nothing. Alright. Okay, make sure I get the things that are in this area, then I'm going to hitchhike to the next town, I guess. But that will be in the stream tonight.
Watch my plasma TV. Over here I have a collection of a bunch of CDs.
Well, I want to see if it saves or not if I do my outro. Because that would suck if it doesn't, and I have to start all over again.
This is a tub. You know, sometimes your muscles get really tense when you're out working all the time. I am a workaholic, so this is where I spend time relaxing. Over here is my as you can tell, there's my clothes and
Alright, I guess that answers that question. Alright, if you guys are liking this, I love, obviously, like I said, leave down in the comments if you want to see this on tonight's stream, which will be, like I said, sometime after supper, so you're 5:40-ish or 6 p.m.-ish Central Time. But other than that, I see you guys then. Hope to see you on the stream so we can chat a little bit. And see you guys till then. Bye. This is 2.